guys, welcome back to Step Up. Last week we learned how we're working towards a more sustainable future for Singapore by transitioning to a 100% electric vehicle by 2040. So this time we're diving deeper to take a look at all the different things that we're doing to keep Singapore sustainable. I'm here today at Singapore Botanic Gardens UNESCO World Heritage Site to meet a friend, but clearly she's being very distracted. Hey Devika! Why are you smelling the flowers like that?
You don't know one lah. Anyway, today we'll be looking at how we use STE to conserve the natural resources in Singapore that are limited and keep it sustainable at the same time. That includes conserving our rich biodiversity like the plants, the trees, the flowers that I was sniffing so passionately.
And even our fauna. So we're going to start by talking about a huge problem all around the world that can impact our native biodiversity. If you guessed that we're talking about illegal wildlife trade, you're absolutely right. Illegal wildlife trade threatens the survival of endangered species and harms ecosystems and habitats all around the world. Wildlife items are illegally traded and sold for huge profits on the black market. So Singapore, being an international trade hub, plays an important role in regulating wildlife trade and putting a stop to it.
Exactly, which is why we actually have people who are working in the shadow to nab the perpetrators who are involved in illegal wildlife trade.
That's right.
In Singapore. You want to go see them?
Yes!
Let's go!
You know, I almost quit my job to grow plants for a living.
Really?
Yeah, and then all my plants died.
Hello, hello! Hi!
Nice to
You
meet
must
you.
be Pam
Yes.
and Devika.
Yes, and
Hello.
you must be Anna.
Yes, welcome. I thought it's nice that we meet up here to actually talk about what I do. Are you ready?
Yes,
Let's
ready.
go!
Let's go.
I'll show you more upstairs.
Anna, do you want to see the plants that I grew? I think there's a bit of a problem with them.
There's no plants. All die already.
I actually work, in the shadows most of the time. So me and my team investigate and intercept illegal wildlife shipments, and then we take the smugglers to task. But of course, apart from that, we also make sure that the confiscated specimens do not re-enter the black market.
So what are some examples of items that are being illegally traded on the market?
So here we have shark's fin. So there's more than 1,000 shark and ray species in the world, with about 30 species that are actually listed on CITES Appendix 2, which means that trade is regulated with proper permits. Of course, these shark's fins, they do not have the proper permits, so that's why they're considered illegal. Illegal wildlife trade actually, harms the biodiversity and of course threaten the survival of all these species.
Of course. And I didn't even know there were so many different species of sharks and rays there.
Yeah, and these are just shark fins. Are there any other items that are being illegally traded?
So we also commonly see rhino horns, elephant ivory and pangolin scales. These can be used for traditional Chinese medicine or as ornaments for decoration at home.
So how do you then differentiate between legal and illegal items?
So MPARPS regulates import and export of CITES specimens through permitting system. So as long as you have your requirements met, we will actually issue a CITES permit and trade is allowed.
How do you test for these items in the field?
So for example, if I talk about the shark's fin again, so actually in 2022, MPARPS and its partners actually launched a mobile application called Fin Finder.
Okay.
Yeah, so it uses artificial intelligence or AI. You can identify the specimens in a matter of seconds. In the past, our officers actually, they have to take the samples and then bring back to the laboratory for testing, which will take about 1 to 2 weeks, which is pretty long.
Yeah.
So now with the Fin Finder, it has about 15,000 images in the database, which means that you can just scan it and then it will match the database to tell you what species it is.
That's really cool. The whole app sounds like a super cool gadget in shadow work. I wanted to ask, is it available to public?
Oh, I'm sorry, it is not. Yeah, it is only for enforcement officers. And currently, we have about 27 countries that actually uses this app.
Anna, what you're doing is absolutely incredible and we have so much respect for it. Thank you for having us today.
Thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you. Thank you for coming.
Hi, I'm Pam.
And I'm Devika.
Nice to meet you.
I'm Nandini and welcome to Trust WRP.
Sorry, what?
Okay, so this is Tuas Water Reclamation Plant Site. And you know how previously we've learned what we can do to curb illegal wildlife trade, right? This is out of our control as well, the lack of natural water resources, you know? But we can still do something about it, hence we're here today. Sorry, it's a bit long. What is it again? The Deep Tunnel Sewerage System Phase 2.
right.
Okay.
I'm expert, you know.
Thank you you're here. Because if she was to explain it, I wouldn't have gotten it. Regardless, so basically what you're telling me is like a super highway that is used to collect and treat used water in Singapore.
The DTSS Phase 2 project, correct. It collects and sends it to Tuas WRP for treatment.
Okay, I didn't know Singapore had so many plans regarding like water treatment. So perhaps the biggest question I have is really about how the water is being treated and how is it being processed.
So maybe let me start with the big picture. So as you probably know, Singapore has got 4 national taps. We have our local catchment water, we have imported water from Johor, we have new water and desalinated water.
Yeah, I've heard about new water, yes.
Yes, National Day always get new water.
Exactly. So new water is basically used water that is treated before it's further purified into high grade water, new water. So the Tuas WRP is part of the DTSS Phase 2 project. The DTSS is a deep tunnel that serves the western half of Singapore.
Okay.
It conveys used water from our homes and industry to Tuas WRP for treatment. And it's slated to be completed in 2026.
Okay.
That's quite soon.
Yeah.
3 more years.
Yeah, not bad. Okay, my next question to you would be, how is the work that you are doing, how does that contribute to the whole process?
So I'm the smart lead on this project, which means that I'm responsible to automate the plant's processes. So this includes things like my team identifies the sensors to be installed in the plant to act as our eyes on the ground.
Wow.
Right? So we can have less people roving the ground. And then of course we pull all this information back, leverage on data analytics to provide useful insights to operators and our managers.
Okay.
They can then use this for their decision making. And then of course without automation, we will have to send our officers to risky environments.
Okay.
So one of the systems that we are actually implementing now is the autonomous forklift and a robotic arm to take care of chemical bags.
So I heard her. So basically what you're saying is that even on like a safety level, it is actually better for
right.
all the workers now.
So by actually automating it, we can relieve our operators of repetitive and laborious tasks and they can focus on higher value tasks instead.
More meaningful tasks.
Exactly.
Oh my god, that's amazing. I love that. I love that.
So, what steps would you say Singapore is taking to ensuring water sustainability?
So already 2/3 of Singapore is water catchment.
Okay.
So we have a comprehensive island-wide network of drains, canals and rivers that catch rainwater and convey it to 17 reservoirs for storage. And this water then goes to our water treatment plants to be turned into potable water that's supplied to our homes and industries. But then of course, we do not have enough rainwater. So as a result, we still have to look at our water loop holistically and then try and close it.
Okay.
So this is where the used water networks comes in. Singapore is 100% sewered and these sewers convey used water to water reclamation plants that are usually located in coastal regions for treatment. And our treated water is much cleaner than WHO's drinking water standards.
Okay, wow, that's actually really impressive.
Yeah.
Has this been done anywhere else before?
Okay, we are actually the first in the world to use used water in wafer fabs.
Okay.
So and therefore they require very high grade clean water. So you can imagine how clean our new water is.
Yes. So, what can we do as Singaporeans to conserve water?
So every drop of water that we use requires energy to treat, filter and pump to our homes. So by minimizing the water we use and reuse water where possible, we are able to minimize the energy needed to treat our water daily. And of course, overall, this will reduce our carbon emissions as well.
Before we go, I need to ask you, can we
Yes.
like go on the forklift?
yeah.
Please, maybe not today, but you're welcome back when our project is done in 2026.
Hi, nice
Hi,
to meet you.
guys.
I'm Pam. This is Devika.
I'm XY, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet
Thanks
you.
for coming.
Nice to meet you
So
too.
here we are at the Jurong Innovation District site office where we are developing the first 4 advanced manufacturing buildings at JID. Yeah, where we are at now is the Bulim Precinct, which is one of the 5 precincts in JID. So apart from Bulim, there are 4 more precincts, one of them being Clean Tech Park. Clean Tech Park is already partly developed and we have companies like A-Star and Savannah Jurong campus over there, and also NTU, who will be our academic partner. Further down the pipeline, we would also have Baha and Tengah Precinct. Tengah, as you might know, is located quite near to the HDB New Town.
Yes.
So overall, it's quite a large estate with more than 600 hectares in area.
It sounds huge, but exactly how big is that?
It's around 840 soccer fields.
Oh, actually that's a lot eh.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
What?
quite a big place.
840, that's...
I cannot compute that.
I feel like, okay, I didn't even know we had that much land to begin with.
Yeah, I mean, wow, but that's a lot.
Yeah, so we try to use this opportunity of this large greenfield site to actually imbue sustainability in all aspects of our estate, especially from the early upstream planning and design stages. So for instance, JID would feature plenty of greenery and park spaces, and all the buildings would have to achieve a minimum of BCA's Green Mark Gold Plus standard.
Wow.
You know what that is, man.
Hey, it sounds like the A star of whatever mark that is, but it sounds very like high achiever level.
Yes, but in fact I think many of the buildings in JID have outperformed even this minimum requirement.
Flexing,
See,
flexing.
I know a high achiever when I see one.
Yeah, and achieve the more stringent BCA Green Mark Platinum.
Wow.
And that really means that all these buildings have successfully reduced their energy consumption by at least 30% from the 2015 baseline.
That's really impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was looking at this, right, and I was playing with it a bit. So I'm wondering, what exactly is this? I know it's called a sky corridor.
Yeah, so the Sky Corridor is basically JID's transport artery for cyclists and pedestrians. You may have heard of the High Line in New York or the 7017 Sky Park in Seoul. Conceptually, the Sky Corridor is similar, but the envisioned scale in JID is larger. It would be 11 kilometers long and would be connected to various MRT stations along the upcoming Jurong Region Line. And if you see the lane in the center, yeah, we have catered for this additional lane for driverless pods in the future.
Driverless pods as in autonomous pods?
Yes, the autonomous pods in future. And the end vision really is to allow for people who are arriving to JID by MRT to be able to access all corners of the estate quite easily without having to, say, transit into a local bus. And that goes back to supporting our car-light estate vision, which ties back to our focus on environmental sustainability.
Okay, honestly, right, I think the sky corridor concept is great, but I think you're missing out on something, and I want to give my suggestion.
Sure.
So I think you should have some convenience stores.
Convenience stores,
Yeah, you know what happens is in 11 kilometers, if I'm walking and then I get hungry, and then you should put some seats also, right? So after I buy food, I can sit down and eat.
Convenience store actually we are considering. So you know, amongst the 4 buildings in the center there's a plaza. We call it the Sky Corridor Plaza. So there might be pop-up stores in future.
So you mentioned there's space for autonomous pods
Yes.
and buses and all. But what about bigger vehicles like vans and trucks and like heavy goods vehicles?
Yes, so if you look at the basement 2 level of the model, we have actually designed for a centralized district logistics network, yeah, whereby we try and bring all the heavy trucks and heavy goods vehicles underground so as to free up congestion on the surface roads. And on the other hand, it would also complement the Sky Corridor in saving space at the ground level, which would have otherwise been used for wider roads, wider pavements. And all that space that is now saved can be used more productively for, say, building development or greenery and park spaces.
I know we had like big plans for the future, but seeing it like this is like a whole different experience, right?
Yes, I'm quite mind blown actually, as you can tell. Like, I mean, for me to imagine that this is what it's going to look like for us to live and work together, right? It's really interesting. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for showing us around.
Thank you so much, Pam
This
and
has
Devika.
been so exciting, and I'm really glad that we came here today. Oh my god. I don't know about you, but my head is spinning.
Mine too, trust me.
I feel like we've learned so much today about how, you know, we can keep Singapore sustainable, and I honestly never knew about all the efforts we have to put in to locate and apprehend wildlife trade and why we have to do it.
I know. And there's that massive water reclamation project as well.
Yeah.
Honestly, there are so many factors to take into consideration when building this industrial infrastructure while designing them to ensure human coexistence. It's pretty wild, guys.
And all of this is only possible thanks to the good people of science, tech and engineering. So good job, guys!
I'm so proud of you all.
You can join the course too and use STE to shape Singapore's future. Find out more at controlshift.sg.
I'm quite hungry. You want to go eat?
No, I'm actually very full of water.
So you're not thirsty anymore?
No, I'm not!
Oh my god, so happy. I'm hungry though. Come, let's go eat. Where to go? I actually don't know where I'm going.
I think there. There you go back to us.
Is that a question for me?
Do I?
Yes, you have.
What's my
You
question?
wrote a list when you were coming here. I remember it was something about...
Hello.
Have you started? I don't know. I thought you were already.